Welcome everyone to my smokes and flashes tutorial for DE Canals. Let's get right into it. If you're coming out of CT spawn and you're trying to smoke a short down there, you're just going to come into this corner, look up where you see this antenna going up, and aim right at the little tip where it connects. And you just walk forward and throw as soon as you get to this area right here. And this should be a perfect smoke throw for this, not visible from either side if you want to double check. Alright, and if you're in this position here, all you have to do is look between these two windows here. Just give it a simple left click. And then if thrown properly, this one should come up and cover each side perfectly. Let's say you're playing even here underneath Rapunzel. All you have to do is be in this corner. If you look at this little wood thing sticking out, look underneath it and level with this sill. Just left click. This will re-smoke it. It'll be kind of shallow. If you know of a way of smoking it a little bit deeper, let us know down in the comments. Alright, let's say you just got boosted over ramp. All you have to do is come into this corner right here. And then you're going to look at this ball and then a little bit to the left. And you're just going to walking throw it. And then if thrown correctly, this should land in market. Or shop or whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. And it's going to land pretty deep. If you want more of a shallower one though, if you just look at the entrance and just left click one, this should just be fine. Let's say you're on T side, a great way to flash someone across is just to aim above that baby's head and just pop flash them in. Or if you want to smoke the cross, you just aim above the baby's head and do the exact same thing with the smoke. Let's say you're coming up a short here and you're trying to get on the site. A great smoke that I like to throw is coming in between these two pillars, aiming just to the right of this white thing and run throwing it. This will land right here so you can cross. I do want to say don't aim at the white strip here because for some reason you can shoot through that, and if you throw a grenade in there it's just gonna get stuck. I don't know why. Please fix. Alright, so let's say you left click the smoke onto here, and then you can have someone else come out here and throw one against the ground like that. Throw one up the site by looking just on top of the railing and throwing. Then you can Molotov off Rapunzel if you haven't already, and then you can easily come up the site and you have this wall of smoke here. Another great smoke is if you come into garden here and you come right in the dead center between these two poles. If you look at this antenna right here, and if you see where this point is and this point is, you go into the middle of this pole and you go to the left so that you make a little triangle with the tip in the center of the pole, and you just left click right at the corner of the triangle. And if thrown correctly, it should land in sight. Smoke it off completely. So let's say you're in the exact same position. If you look in the center of this triangle here, you'll be able to throw one onto a site. In that exact same smoke can be thrown from this position here. If you're on the second window, go into this white column. And if you look at this little black box, if you go to the rightmost corner and just out a little bit, left click the smoke, they should both land on site. This will essentially create a wall of smoke that you can get onto site with. Alright, let's say you're a CT and you want to cross bridge. Best thing you can do is come up behind the first lamp and just look in the middle of the bridge railing right here and just left click smoke. So bounce once, come over here, and then you can cross with these with no holes or anything. There is a hole on the left side, or the right side, excuse me. It has to show a little bit because even if you throw one perfectly in the middle, there's going to be a little peak here and there's going to be a little bit peak here. I tend to just have mine land a little bit more to the left side so that way they can't see you crossing here, and if you fall down, you're good. But don't hop over, otherwise they're going to be able to see you crossing. Alright, let's say you're on T side. A great way to flash across on arches is just to throw above this baby's head as you're going. Probably best thrown by a teammate, to be honest. Alright, so let's say you're trying to entry into market or shop or whatever you want to call this place. All you have to do is stand in the doorway more or less. And if you look between this line and this line, aim in the middle, just a little bit up from that. If you middle click one, that'll be good enough for you to peek out with. And if you see where that one lands, it'll land right there. Even if I'm over here behind the arches, I'm still going to get flashed. I would recommend practicing this flash though. Alright, let's say you popped out a shop here. All you have to do is come around the back. And if you come into this corner right here, make sure to clean out Rapunzel first, otherwise you can get messed up. But if you go into this corner right here, go to the second pillar column thing, and find this white line. If you aim at the white line to the right a little bit, you mess it up. No, but if you aim at the right line and go down just a little bit, it'll bounce off, and you can peek with that. This should flash just about everyone in sight, so if you're over here, it's going to flash. If you're all the way here, it's going to flash you as well. You want to practice this one, make sure you can get it as deep or as shallow as you want it, just aiming vertically on the spot on the wall. You can throw it from here, or you can also throw it from this corner as well. You're just going to be more exposed if you do it from here. But if you just look up, do the exact same thing, and peek with that. Also, just as a fun tip, you can make this jump like this if you want to. Let's say you're trying to push back alley. If you aim in the middle of the vines right here, and just running through it correctly, this will pop in a place that you can peek it right here. If you're a CT, it'll land right there. If you're looking over this, you can see it. If you're sitting right here, you can see it. If you're just sitting here perched, you can't see it, but if you're holding an angle, you're going to be able to see it. I would highly recommend not having one land on too far right, because it's not going to work. A good flashbang if you want to peek alleys, if you come into this corner right here, and look at the top corner of this building right here, and just middle click, it'd be a great pop flash for you to come in and shoot here. A good pop flash to get your teammates into short would be if you come into this corner and then just walking left click a flashbang. This should pop in a place where anyone on site can see it. Now let's say instead of smoking bridgeway, you want to flash someone. I haven't found a good self pop flash. If you know of one, let me know in the comments. But a great way to flash a teammate in is that if you stand in this square, it's the first one in this little decorative tile floor thing. You stand right here, just look at the top corner of this building right here and just left click. This will be great to pop someone else in. And if you look at where it lands right there. So pretty much wherever you are as a T, you're going to get flashed. Alright, so let's say you're trying to peek into windows right here. If you get into this corner right here, left click a flash between these two right here. It should pop so that anyone in stairs is going to get flashed. Just about anyone. It's a bit finicky trying to get this in here, because if they're posted up here, they're not going to get flashed. If they're posted up back here, they're going to get flashed. But you just need to make sure you're checking all your angles if you're going to be pushing this. Also, let's say that the T's are trying to push through here and get to CT. If you're up here already, all I have to do is just throw a flash down these stairs. It should pop in a place that just about anyone's going to get flashed. Although I would highly recommend practicing this, because you can have different depths depending on where you throw your grenade and whether or not it bounces up the stairs. Just a thought. Alright, on to Molotovs. So let's say you've taken your smoke and you looked at the antenna and you've thrown that, and that's smoked off. If you look over here, you see the grate and then the little pillar right here and then the open space. You want to aim sort of for that pillar area. Okay, you want to aim for that pillow area, and if you aim up at the trophy height while walking, that should bounce off enough that it'll get as deep as possible. And if you're posted up right here and you want to throw the exact same Molotov, you just look sort of at the center of the dot, and you just do a little bit of a walking throw. And it should be good enough to replace the other one. Alright, so let's say you've thrown this smoke right here, and you still want a Molotov off site. If you look at where this pillar is, if you see it coming down, if you aim there, and just a little bit to the right of that, and just walking through it, there should be a Molotov good enough to cover all of sight. You definitely need to practice this one, because I just messed it up. What this is going to look like without the smoke, and if I can do it correctly this time, is it'll look like that. It'll get this corner and this corner. You want to make sure that it's not bouncing off this little lip right here, because it'll bounce off and land over here, but you want it to get as center of sight as possible. Alright, let's say you're on T side, you want to try a Molotov Palace. If you look into the window from this position over here, you don't have to line up with the graffiti, but you want to make sure that you can see this little opening as much as possible. You want to look there, then you want to look up between this and this corner. You pretty much just want to look at the center, and you just want to left click it. If thrown correctly, it should Molotov pretty deep in here so that they can't cross. There's not too many smokes and flashes you can do on B site, but a good one is if you come up to this second bar right here with a Molotov, and if you look at the window and then go up just a little bit above it, and you just do a walking throw, this will Molotov deep into sight so that they can't rush in and just plant the bomb. Let's say you pushed out back of A and you want a Molotov Rapunzel. All you have to do is come to this right here, and you want to make sure that you can see 4 of these triangles. If you see 3, it's just going to bounce off of this. If you see 5 or 6, that's okay too. But you want to look at the third rectangle, 1, 2, third one, and you pretty much just want to left click. And that should land in the windowsill. You can work on it as much as you want to if you want to get it deeper or not. But this is the general idea you want to have. If you want to go deeper, just throw it up a little bit more. Or you can not. Also, highly recommend Molotoving that if you ever can. Because a Molotov super deep, so if you have a CT friend who wants to get super aggressive in here, you can throw that Molotov for him and he can push in. On the callouts, this is going to be T-spawn. I personally call this T-bridge. This is called T-main. This is called garden, back of arches, and then this is arches. This right here is shop or market. This area is back of A. This is ramp. Come over here, this is a site. This right here is Rapunzel. This right here is dark. This whole thing right here is basically just CT. This is CT spawn right here. This area is technically all known as water. I call this CT bridge. I call this boat. I call this water. And I call this T bridge. This area, I guess you could just call back of water. I don't personally have a name for it. If you have a name for it, let me know in the comments. This is a short if you're trying to go to A. This right here is going to be called tunnels. These are stairs. These are windows. This whole thing is called courtyard. These are courtyard stairs. That is courtyard window. This is balcony. This whole area. This is palace. This right here is bomb site B. This is construction. This right here is Ivy for the Ivy ladder that's here, which yes, this is a ladder. Mario 64 all over this shit. You can also hop right over here. This is an area which you can get camped. So if you ever get confused about where you got shot from, it might have been here. This is alleyway. This right here is called lobby. I personally call this area danger, but call it what you may. These are B windows right here. These are breakable. Whenever you break them, they sound like a USPS going off. Annoyingly enough, you can't jump over this lamp. I don't know for the life of me why. All these little trash cans you can hardcore parkour over. No skill. Yeah! That pretty much covers the map callouts itself. Alright guys, I've been seeing a lot of smoke tutorials online. I haven't really liked many of them. Some of them are smoking arches, something you don't want to do, because you can't see the cross for if terrorists are going to market or not. You also want to Molotov that so that they can't cross and you're only coming from one spot. I've also seen ones where they smoke off B site, like right here. If the T's are coming up from Ivy, all they have to do is get in this corner and plant the bomb. Then they literally don't even have to be on site. Because if you plant a bomb in the little corner, that's where the smoke is. All we have to do is just post up out here and just shoot you as you defuse. I've seen smokes where you come over to this trash can and then you come up and then you left click one like that. If you're out in this open right here and you start getting shot at, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? As a smoke, the best thing you can do is throw a smoke from an area where you can't be shot from. So if I'm like here and I'm throwing some random smoke on the site, then I'm covered. If the CT decides to push up, then I'm still covered and I can hear them running up. And I'll have enough time to bring out my gun and react. So if I'm just sitting here like this, I hear them running, all I have to do is just do this. You want to make sure you can throw a smoke from like a safe location. There was this one I was talking about is one for a site. First off, that takes 8 years to deploy and your teammates are already rushing out the site. They're on site right now. They're already being shot at and now it's just deploying. You don't want to be throwing a smoke while you're already taking the site, because you have to have the smoke down before you take the site. I feel like that just needs to be said because apparently people aren't understanding that. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I appreciate that they took the time to try and improve the community. But personally, my playstyle is I don't want to be standing like right here with no smokes deployed and having to do that. That's just my personal opinion on it. It's all about the angles you're being exposed to. If I'm just sitting here throwing a smoke, I can get shot from here. I can get shot from the balcony. If someone peeks me here, I can get shot from. If someone's in a Rapunzel, I can get shot from there. If someone's playing back of A side and it's not cleared yet, I can get shot from. I just really prefer to not get shot like that. For the rest of this, I'm going to be filming in slow motion for genuinely no reason. I hope you all liked the tutorial. If you guys have any recommendations for smokes or flashes, please let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about putting an update to this video just because I'm still trying to learn the map myself, and I feel like I could help people out in the future. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe, like if you liked the video, dislike the video if you liked the video, if you liked the video but you didn't like the video that much, please like the video. If you disliked the video, please like the video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.